Hi, my name's Ed Tollington. This is the second video I've, I'm putting together, looking at how I can beat schizophrenia using a combination of mindfulness, logical reasoning to suppress the delusions I have. This time I'm going to just talk a little bit about my backstory. In 2006, I first experienced the schizophrenia, an episode of psychosis. That's when I first can pinpoint when schizophrenia started for me. I was 20 at the time, and it came in the form of this, what I referred to as a spiritual awakening. It wasn't a spiritual awakening, but it felt something like that. It was just this massive rush of thoughts coming into my mind, delusional thoughts, hearing voices. Although the voices have always been a small part of my illness, the delusions have been the major part of my psychosis. This came about 8 to 10 months after a head injury I received, which I'm still investigating, still trying to work out whether this was part of the reason why I suffer from schizophrenia. So that was 2006. I was able to suppress my thoughts, suppress the problems I had for a number of years, right up until 2013, when I was first sectioned under the Mental Health Act in Great Britain for being diagnosed with psychosis at the time. I've had a further 2 relapses since then, in 2016 and 2018 for a year, at that time, in 6 months in 2016. I would refer to my major part of my psychosis, my schizophrenia, so-called schizophrenia, as psychosis. I also get depressed a lot, very stressed out, very anxious. But the main part is the psychosis I have. I have had delusions such as being God, being Zeus, being Jesus, being an amazing world leader. I kind of got this idea for a long time that I could win things in sport. So, for example, instead of betting with money, you'd bet with ideas, and those ideas would win or lose in sport, which of course isn't true. I thought I could control the weather, but I've also had massive paranoia. I thought once I was a paedophile. I thought, what else have I had? That I was a racist. That for not really any reason other than the paranoia. Thought that I would never find anyone to be with. I've thought loads of different paranoid thoughts, that I've been watched, like I'm on the Truman Show, that people are out to get me, that the government's out to get me, that those kind of normal delusions as well, that are related, associated with schizophrenia. And it's been a long journey to get to where I am now, which is where I've been through all these psychotic thoughts, and I'm able to register them more in my time now. I'm now 33, and I'm able to say no to the thoughts. But I'd say I've also had a number of other conditions that have been associated with it. For example, I've been really lethargic and lazy sometimes, to the point where you could say I suffered for a period from chronic fatigue syndrome. I've been ups and downs sometimes, as if I suffer from bipolar. Sometimes I get very obsessive about things. It's a whole range of symptoms I've received, that I've had. Depression being a major one, which I've not really talked about enough. And really, I think this all started. I was an angsty teenager, a bit paranoid sometimes, but mainly I'd call it anxiety, teenage angst. And since then, when I had the head injury, I was riding a bike. I was stupid. I wasn't wearing a helmet. I hit my head both on one side of the temple and on the other side of the temple. I've never had it properly addressed or diagnosed. I'm focusing on the diagnosis at the moment. I can still feel my nerve endings still feel sensitive or on both sides of my temple. So schizophrenia has been part of my life for the last 13 years, and I've been in and out of work. I've managed to hold down a job, the same job, for 10 years, which sounds odd in this day and age, but I'm kind of proud of having stayed at that job for that long. I own my own house, my own car. So in some ways, so far I've been reasonably successful. Not what I want, but reasonably successful, all things considered. But schizophrenia is there. So-called schizophrenia has been there in ever present in the last 14 years. And I believe when I pin down what I'm trying to beat, it's a psychosis. It's the going off work sick for long periods of time. That's what I want to beat. I want to be able to stay and work. I want to be able to say to that delusion that says you're speaking to some person in a powerful job. I want to say to that delusion that that's not true, or that the police are out to get you. I want to say to that delusion that that's not true as well. And so far I'm succeeding. I'm on medication. I'm on aripiprazole and escitalopram for depression. Aripiprazole is the antipsychotic. But again, I don't know how much. I wonder how much antipsychotic works. But that's what I'm on at the moment. So I don't know. Let's see where this goes. The last week has been difficult. I've had not a relapse, just a little bit of a low week. Struggling to get out of bed a little bit. But other than that, things have been good. Had a good weekend. And I'm looking forward to what comes next. So that's a bit of my story. I'll probably share a bit more in coming weeks, but that's just a taste of my story. So thanks.